friend and I were on our way back home from Las Vegas to San Jose, driving through the quiet night on the highway. So, it's just us, my body and me, cruising along this dark, empty highway. It's super late, and the only things lighting up the road are our car's headlights and the moon peeking through the trees. It felt like we were the only souls out there. Just when we thought we were almost home, our car's transmission decides to give up on us. We pulled into a parking lot next to a small shopping center. It's around 3 in the morning, and the place is deserted. And here's where things took a spooky turn. We spotted 3 guys hanging around the parking lot. They slowly approached our car. One guy stood near the driver's door, another by mine, and the third one at the back. All 3 just stared at us without saying a word. The guy next to my friend's door finally spoke up and asked if we had any money. My body, sounding nervous, said we didn't have any. They backed off a bit but kept on watching us. Time seemed to drag on as they lingered. We didn't want to stick around and see what they had in mind, so as soon as the car was fixed, we got out of there and hit the road. Luckily, we made it home without any more encounters. That night still sends shivers down our spines, a reminder that you can run into strange and scary situations when you least expect it. It was just me, driving along those never-ending, empty highways on my way to see my grandparents. As I drove, tiredness started creeping in. I'd been on the road for a long time, and the road's monotony was making it hard to stay awake. So I decided to find a place to rest. I pulled into a quiet campsite for the night. Sleeping in my car wasn't easy, though. Even though I was dead tired, sleep just wouldn't come. I kept shifting around in the front seat, trying to get comfy. Sometime during the night, I thought I heard faint footsteps nearby. When I looked out the window, there was nothing to see. It left me questioning reality. The next morning, with the sun starting to rise, I took a look out the window. What I saw gave me the chills, the full face print on the window. It was as if someone had been standing right next to my van, watching me while I slept. That strange encounter kept me wide awake for the rest of my journey. I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been lurking around my van in the middle of nowhere. Finally, I reached my grandparents' place. The visit with them was a welcome distraction from that eerie night, but I couldn't forget the face print on the window. It was one of the weirdest and creepiest things I've ever experienced on the road. Back in my college days, I had an experience that still sends shivers down my spine. It was a late night, and I was driving home on a 2-hour journey. As I hit the freeway, I noticed a truck with round-shaped headlights behind me. At first, I thought nothing of it, assuming we were just coincidentally heading in the same direction. But as I changed freeways, the truck kept following me. Mile after mile, the truck stuck to my tail, maintaining a constant speed and distance. My initial dismissal turned into agitation. It had been nearly 50 miles, and that truck was still behind me. I knew something wasn't right. 2 hours later, I finally reached the exit to my hometown, and the truck followed suit. Alarm bells were ringing in my head. I decided to test if this was mere coincidence or something more sinister. I pulled into a 24-hour McDonald's drive-thru, and sure enough, the truck followed me into the parking lot. I stayed in line, and that's when it happened. The truck, realizing I was in the drive-thru, abruptly made a U-turn and sped off. It was like a scene from a suspense movie. When I eventually left the McDonald's parking lot, paranoia gripped me. I couldn't shake the feeling that the truck might be lurking around the corner, waiting to follow me again. Thankfully, the truck never reappeared. I nervously continued my drive home, constantly checking my rearview mirror. The relief I felt upon reaching my doorstep was indescribable. To this day, I'm left wondering what that Trex deal was. Was it a mere coincidence, or something more sinister? The experience was undeniably terrifying, and I couldn't help but wonder if I had narrowly escaped a potentially dangerous situation.